Welcome back to Fab Automotive Detailing. The truck behind me, I did a basic wash on it and I'm doing a basic wash and wax. That's it. The customer wants nothing else, just the old school wash and wax. And when I picked the truck up from the gentleman, he showed me a scratch that goes from the passenger front door down to the passenger rear, down to the side of the bed of the truck that happened at a local oil change place. They did not admit to it, and he said it was not there. He's an elderly gentleman, really extremely nice guy. He was really upset about it because it's a 2016. It's only got 8,000 miles on it. The paint is in really good shape other than that right there. So he asked me to see if I could do what I can with that scratch, and I told him that I will. I'll wet sand it and basically go from there. Somebody's already done something to it. I'll show you guys that here in just a second, but it's gonna be as good as I can get it, and that's it. And I think I'll be able to get rid of probably, I'm hoping 70 to 80% of the scratch and make it look way better for the guys. So let's do it. All right, you guys, so as you can see, there's my daughter. Wave hi to everybody. She showed up at the beginning of the intro, as you guys probably saw there a second ago. So here is the scratch. I'm gonna show you with no light. This is where somebody's tried doing something already, whether, I'm not sure, whether Scotch-Brite pad or maybe rubbing compound or something, I'm not sure. We'll see what we can do with that. Like I said, I'm gonna show you without no light right now. This is not too bad. This is actually where this is probably the end of the scratch right here. But as you go down, it just keeps going and it gets worse, as you can hear. And then right here, right here is pretty bad, as you can hear. But right here, it's gone. It's down to the primer, to the metal, to the aluminum, whatever this is in this Ford truck. I think it's aluminum. As you can see, he knows I can't do anything with probably this at all. We'll see. We'll see what we can do with this, but I can't do anything with this. This needs to have paint done on it. If he had some touch-up paint, I'd have done it, but he said he didn't have any. And also put a dent in the bed side right there, which that just makes me so mad that somebody do something like that and not admit to it when this guy says it clearly wasn't there before he dropped it off. And you guys, this just happened to us when we were in Florida. Somebody hit the right front of the Journey, the right front door, and smashed it all in. $2,000 in damage is at the shop right now getting fixed. Nobody left a note or anything, so people are just like that in this world for some reason. But look at this scratch, man. It just goes all the way down. This paint is perfect. Other than that right there. I mean, this paint is amazing on this truck. But it's only 8,000 miles, it should be. So, let me turn the light on really fast. Show you what it looks like with the light on, and then we're gonna get to it. I gotta get going. See, it goes all the way down. It gets whiter right there. As you can see, it's hard to tell with that metallic, but in person, it's real obvious. Yeah, and then right there is where it started. All right, so before we start digging into this, wet sanding on it, I have a Highline meter too. I've never made a video on this. You guys have seen me use it before. Brian from Apex Detail recommended this a couple years ago, I think it was. So I bought it earlier this year, end of last year, I don't remember. I use it every time I detail now, and it has saved my butt. Very inexpensive, relatively speaking, because paint thickness gauges I've seen go up to like $2,000 and $3,000. This thing is less than $200. I think I got it for $190 on Detailed Image. If you guys want to get 10% off Detailed Image, you can. You can use my code, and I'll put that down at the bottom of the screen down here. If you just go to their website and then coupon code that, and you can get 10% off your entire order. But I think I paid $180 or $190 for this. Anyways, very good little meter. I like it. It's very consistent. I calibrate it every other time I use it. But anyways, so I want to show you guys how thin this newer paint is on these cars. So as I'm sitting here editing, I'm realizing that there were things I wanted to say and I forgot to say, and that happens all the time when you make videos. And if you make videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So before I ever turned the camera on, I took paint thickness readings. Now the readings may be a little bit off because it's aluminum, I'm not sure, but I saw that it was really thin from the get-go, and I called the customer and told him how thin the paint was, and I wasn't very comfortable, you know, wet sanding on paint like that, because you shouldn't. Anything this thin, you really shouldn't be doing wet sanding or anything on, or let alone a heavy cut. But he basically told me that, well, just go ahead and try. He goes, he didn't care, because worst case scenario, if it still looks just as bad or something happens to the clear, he said he'd just go to plan B and take it to a body shop and have it fixed. Today's manufacturers are making paint thinner and thinner and thinner. And when you start seeing readings like this, where it's 2.2 mils, 2.3 mils, something like that,
that is dangerously thin, and I would advise not even doing anything other than maybe an enhancement with a very fine polish and a not an aggressive pad, just a foam polishing pad, or even just a finishing pad to enhance the paint. Because when it gets down this thin and you start removing layers of clear coat, the clear coat is extremely thin, and you're going to remove the UV protection that's on the clear coat, and then the paint's going to start fading, and then you're just opening up a whole can of worms there. So just always keep that in mind. If you don't have a paint thickness gauge and you have a newer car, most likely you have pretty thin paint.
We got a reading of 2.5. We're going right around the scratch. 2.5. 2.2. 2.2. The average I've been finding on here, because I was doing this before I turned the camera on, was like between 2 and 2.2. Oops, look at my hand. 2.6. Look at my hand again. 2.3. It's hard to do on the scratch where somebody's already messed with it. 2.5. 3.4. That's not right. I must not held that right. 2.9. And let me show you guys this. This is how thin it is. So this is going to be the thinnest your paint's going to be is the inside of your door. 0. 0. Obviously there's paint on here, but there's not enough for it to register, because go down here and you'll get a little bit of a reading. 1.9. 0.2. 1.0. Let's go one more. Let's go like right here. It shows, let's do one more. Let's show 0. 0. Come down here and it should be 0. Sorry, it's my daughter. Let's laugh in the background. 0.6. So paint is extremely thin and barely even there, you guys. These things are worth the money. I'm telling you, it'll save your butt. It saved my butt on a detail just last week. So let me get the camera set up. I'm gonna have to have this big light on so I can see what I'm doing. It may shadow what you guys are gonna see, but hopefully you guys will get the gist of it. And a lot will be either just quick clips or time lapses, so you guys don't have to sit and watch me do the entire thing. It'd be a long video. So, all right, let's get going on this. All right, so what I'll be using, I will be using a water bottle it was filled with distilled water, and then I put 3 drops of Griot's Garage's Super Concentrated Car Wash. That's what the SCCW is. That gives you plenty of lubrication in here. I'll be using this little sander right here, with a little sandpaper on it. This is 1,000 grit. I get these at Walmart. I think the kit's like $6. It comes with a bunch of 1,000, 1,500, and I think 400 grit sandpaper. It's great. You know, you can get in there and you can just slightly do what you need to do. And then I'll use my big sanding paper and backing disc to wipe it down, and some regular distilled water to rinse the panel, and then dry it, and we'll see what it looks like. So first thing you want to do is you want to soak, and wherever you're going to do this is going to make a mess, so just be ready for that. But I'm basically going to soak my paper, and then I'm going to soak right where I'm going. And that added soap really helps, I'm telling you. I got that trick from Griot's Garage. And then you want to make sure you keep it wet. And I'm just going to go in these really small strokes. And I'm going to go at kind of an angle, so I'm not using this whole piece to be doing this whole panel. I'm just wanting to get right around that scratch. Barely any pressure. And I'll never say that I'm the world's best sander, I can tell you that, but it's gonna look better for sure. And then see as that gets white on it, you wanna rinse that off of there, and then keep going. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take my little scrubber. Actually, I'm gonna take a little bit of distilled water. Just a little bit of distilled water. Squeegee it kind of down. You can definitely still see the scratch, but it's barely. Right here, I didn't go nearly as aggressive. Let me show you guys. You can see where it's at, but it's not nearly as evident as it is right here. It's still kind of drying. I need to go right there again. This is why I go one direction this way, and then when I do like the 3000, I'll go this way. But the 1000's getting rid of most of it, so I may go straight to 3000. I don't even know if you guys saw me do everything. Hopefully you did. It's so hard to tell on that GoPro. So I'm gonna flush this out with regular water. I'm gonna put the soapy water on it. I'm gonna get these few spots. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. That's looking really good, actually. Barely a shadow of it. Now what I'm gonna do is right where somebody's already done this, I'm gonna go ahead and do it the same way because there's a bunch of scratches. It looks like they're going this way. And then we'll move to 3000 and then we'll polish it and we will see if we were able to get rid of it. So I'm gonna finish this, guys, and turn the camera back on when I start 3000. All right, so here we go. 1000 grits done. Very, very small reflection of the scratch left over, as you can see. You can definitely see where somebody went side to side right here. That's gonna be as good as we can get it. Yeah, just set it right there, thank you. So now we're gonna hit it with some 3000. Like I said, I told the guy it's not gonna be perfect. He knows it's not gonna be. But it's gonna look way better. Let's hope at least. So I don't have, this little holder doesn't come with a 3000 grit. So I cut a strip and I'll just use my little holder and we're just gonna do it like this. I'll get it good and wet. What I'm doing is I'm not letting the backing plate touch where I'm at. What am I doing? I'm going the wrong way. I'm sitting here talking. It's not easy. I may have just take this off. This might be the easier way to do it. And the scratches going side to side are worse than the one, I think, than what was on there. Okay, so way better. Still have a small outline of scratch, but I can't feel the scratch now. So when I hit it with the polish, it should level it out and remove the rest of it, I would think. So, all right, I'm gonna polish it up, see what we can do with it. So before we get to polishing, I want to show you guys, obviously you're removing clear coat anytime you're doing anything to the clear coat, whether you're polishing, but especially when you're wet sanding. So when I was wet sanding, you saw the white stuff coming down. That's actually the clear coat. Let me show you. We were averaging about, well, you can see right here, 2.3, but anywhere 2.2, 2.6, somewhere around there. 1.8 now, 1.9, 1.9, 2.2. Down here was like 2.6. It's down to 2.4. So it gives you an idea how much you're removing. All right, so I'm gonna use my Griot's Garage G9 with a Meguiar's microfiber cutting pad and Extreme Solutions LVR 503 Dynamic Cut. You guys, this stuff is awesome. If you got heavy correction you need to do, this stuff is amazing, especially removing sanding marks. Bye. Now this is a little more polished than what I would typically use. See if I can show you guys. It's hard to see on the white, but 4 dots in this small area, but I want to make sure I've got enough to get across here. Which I will. Plus you want to make sure every fiber has some polish in it.
these microfiber pads. That's it. I just want to see where I'm at with it. Is it perfect yet? No, but it looks way better. Definitely have to go a second pass with it. Let me show you guys. And it's not going to be gone. He just wants it to be better. Let's see. Maybe from a distance. You guys can see it's right there because it did look like that. See this right here? That's what it did look like. Yeah, it's right there. Let's see if I can put my finger on it. Right there. Way better, and I think another round with the dynamic cut is going to make it look even better, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so the next step, we're going to be using LVR 367 Ice from Extreme Solutions. This is a fantastic finishing polish. It calls it a glaze, which I'm not worried about. It's not going to cover anything up here. I'm using the Rupes Ultra Fine pad with 4 drops. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. We're gonna finish this off and move on. I will move on. I'll show you guys the finished result later. Okay, so this panel is finished. Let me show you guys. Let me see if I can find the scratch here. It's right, so fine now. And with this metallic, you'll never see it. You can see it over here. Of course, I'll take you guys outside here in just a second, but this metallic, it's hard to see. It looks so much better. Now let's see how much paint we lost after polishing too. 1.6, 1.9, 1.9, 2.1. So we definitely lost quite a bit of paint doing this. But he wanted it wet sanded. This is his truck. So that's what he got. So I'm gonna pull it outside. I'm gonna show you guys what this door looks like compared to the rest. And out in the sunlight, you should be able to see what's left over here compared to here. All right, so hopefully, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. I must have got something. I thought I got something on my lens. So it's obvious where it's at right there. All the way down. And then it's gone. I mean, oh man, it's so minor now. Hopefully when I edit, you guys can see it, but it's right there. Yeah, that looks so much better. I don't know if you guys can see that scratch right there. Going down the door and then it disappears. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks really good. All right, when I'm done, I'll show you guys what it looks like.
there you can see it, right? Move out here, you cannot even see it. You have to get really close, which is perfectly fine. He's gonna be very happy with that. I mean, if you didn't know it was here, you wouldn't even, nobody even look for it. As you can see, I did go ahead, I've already finished the detail, it's waxed, and I just waited till I got done before I pulled it out, but it looks extremely good, you guys. I'm really happy with that. All right, so as you guys saw right there, just a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and you can make vast improvements on it. Now, if the scratches were a little bit more shallow, I probably could have removed them even more, or if I wanted to get real aggressive, I could have, but I'm not charging this guy to do this. When I went to his house and talked to him, I never met him before, I went to his house, talked to him for at least 30 minutes, you know, he's telling me about his truck and this and that, showing me this part right here, which he told me when he called me. I said, I have a scratch on it I want you to look at and see if you can do anything with before, you know, he told me that when he called me. So we're talking about it, you know, and he's explaining how the scratch got there, and you could tell he was upset that it happened, that somebody do that to his truck. So when he asked me what I'd charge him to do it, I charged him what I would do just to do a wash and a quick wax like I said I was gonna do. Even though I told him I would go ahead and wet sand and make it look better. I just felt bad for him, and I can't get myself, I don't know, you guys, I don't do this for a living. So I can't get myself to charge him to do it. I don't know why, I just couldn't. So I just told him the price that I was gonna normally do it for. And he's like, oh yeah, go ahead and do that. So it's gonna make him happy. He's gonna be a return customer. And that's what I care about more than anything. And it's gonna kind of make his day. That's what I want, is I want to see his face when he's just happy that he can't see that scratch anymore, other than what's on the back of the bed. He knows that that's going to be there. But yeah, 1,000 grit sandpaper, then 3,000 grit. Then I went with the heavy cut polish compound, LVR 503 dynamic cut by Extreme Solutions, and then the 367 ice by Extreme Solutions. And that's about it. It looks really good. I'm really happy with it, and I really can't ask for much more than that. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button while you're down there, join the Fab family. We would love to have you, and we'll see you in the next video.